Okay, for the record, you guys listening? For the record, last year when he announced his retirement, I'm the obnoxious one who said 4 more years. So where'd he go? Where are you, Secretary? Thank you, sir. On behalf of all of Illinois, thank you. And thank you to all you amazing Democrats. Woo! Are we fired up or what? I am so excited to be here. So a couple years ago, I came here. It was my first time and was a little nervous. Wasn't sure what the reception was going to be. Last year, I was very excited to be here. Not as nervous. I was your official candidate for Illinois Comptroller. And now I'm not nervous at all because I feel like I'm with family. And I am your Illinois State Comptroller because of you. Because of you. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the hard work across every single county. I have something to strive for because one of my greatest mentors is Secretary of State Jesse White, and I think he may be the only person who's ever won all 102 counties in Illinois, and I could be corrected if I'm wrong, but that is amazing. 102 counties, so there's something to strive for. But I want to say thank you to all 102 counties because it has been my absolute greatest pleasure and honor to serve each and every person in the state of Illinois as your new Illinois State Comptroller. It's been 8 months, and let me start by saying before I get into anything else about the job, thank you to my husband, David Sostek, who's sitting there. Stand up, honey. He's a dashingly handsome guy right there in the middle of the room. And Doug House said that he was celebrating an anniversary next week, and I'm celebrating an anniversary too in December. But thank you, honey. I'm so excited, and I love you so much. And he's been not just my rock over the last 8 months as Illinois Comptroller, but from the minute I decided to make a run for this office, there's been no greater partner or champion for me, both on the political side, the nuts and bolts of helping to run a campaign, but also on the family side, which of course for all of us is the most important thing in our lives is our family. So thank you for that. Many of you have asked me, where's your little boy? How's he doing? Now, our little boy is not running around the room right now because unfortunately a couple days ago, we had a little scare. He fell down at daycare and he hit himself. He fell onto a wood log, a cut down tree log. And he hit his ear. Thankfully, it was not anything more serious, but he had a really bad contusion on his ear and he had to go to the hospital. But we didn't bring him today, not because he's not perfectly fine, because he is, and he's running around and he's super happy, and he insisted on going to the state fair. But we kept him home because we didn't want everybody to think I'm a bad mom, because if you see him, he looks a lot worse than he is. He's got like a big white and yellow thing around his head, and it looks like his ear's out to here, but he's fine, trust me. I don't want any DCFS calls when you see him riding the rides at the state fair today, okay? But we thought maybe we wouldn't have a million questions asked. But now you know, so don't ask later. Just say, how you doing, David? But thank you to all of you. I know that's not what you wanted me to hear, but I want to talk to you about my family because they're so awesome, and that's one of the reasons, and it's my greatest motivating factor for working as hard as I do as your controller. Now, when I ran, I promised you that if you gave me the opportunity to serve you in the capacity of Illinois Comptroller, that you wouldn't see somebody work harder in taking on the Bruce Rauner administration. And I think that I've kept that promise. I told you that I knew how to stand up to bullies. My brothers, taught me how to stand up here and there. And I have been taking on the biggest bully in the state of Illinois since December 5th when I was sworn in to take my oath. Oh, okay, well, thanks. I appreciate that. It has not been an easy job. There are people who say congratulations all the time to me, and there are others who said, what were you thinking? But here's what I was thinking. Our state is going through the absolute worst fiscal crisis in its history. For the very first time in the history of our state, on August 10th, our office was not legally allowed to make K through 12 education payments. Every single child across the state of Illinois is being attacked right now because of nonsensical politics at play from Governor Rauner. Every single child who goes to a public school across our state, regardless of where they live, regardless of their zip code, it's not a question of will they start school on time, because I think many of us believe that they will. The question is, how long will those schools stay open? I look at my 4.5-year-old boy, and all he does is represent everybody else's children across this state, and that's who I'm fighting for, and I will never, ever give up that fight until we win. My office inherited $15.5 billion in bills that have yet to be paid. I want to say thank you to all of you who made phone calls, who rallied the troops to get the legislators to actually vote for a budget and pass one. Thank you for that. You made it happen. Democrats across the state of Illinois made this happen. We are no longer 2 years without a budget. We have a budget, but it doesn't mean we won the lotto. As a matter of fact, we lost the lottery for a few days. We have it back, though. But we still have a long road ahead of us, folks, and my job is monumentally tougher than it should be because we have a governor who lives in a constant and perpetual opposite day. Whatever makes sense, it's the opposite that he does. If it's smart, can't do it. Does it make sense to refinance the state's debt when we're paying 12% interest on our late payments? If we can get a much lower interest rate, does that make sense? I heard Senator Klobuchar talk about billionaires and millionaires being able to refinance their homes and their jets. I think the people of the state of Illinois should be able to refinance their outrageous 12% debt for a much lower interest rate. That's just common sense. But no, Governor Rauner doesn't think it's a good idea for whatever crazy reason. I'm going to keep fighting the good fight, but I need you folks with me every step of the way you were when I was just a candidate. Because this is not about me or any other individual candidate up here. We all get to talk. But really, we should be saying nothing more than thank you to all of you because you're the ones who make it happen. And we need you to keep knocking on those doors, to keep talking to your neighbors, to keep making those phone calls, to keep standing up to injustice when you see it or you hear it. Because we are nothing more than a vessel for your voice. And I'm going to continue to make mine heard as often as possible and against whatever bully gets in my way. Now, when I was running, you may recall, my race was very expensive. Governor Rauner and two of his best friends basically cobbled together $10 million for his wingman. Didn't do him any good, right? Because who's standing here right now as your controller? And back then, he tried to make this a referendum between, the Democratic County Chairman and Governor Bruce Rauner. It was Madigan Rauner. And I said, when he gave $10 million, him and his two pals, to his wingman, I said, I'm not running against, her anymore. I might as well be running against Bruce Rauner, right? Like, you're going to spend $10 million against me? Hey, it's on. It's me versus you. So when he lost that race, I was going to make sure that he owned the fact that he didn't lose to the big, powerful Irish guy on the south side of Chicago. It was a 5'3" little Mexican woman from Chicago who won that race and beat him. That's right. And maybe he didn't know my name back then, but I bet you $1 million he knows it today. I don't actually have $1 million, but if I had them, I would bet them. And I'd win that bet. But in any event, folks, let's keep going out there and letting everyone know why we are Democrats. We're the party of the people. We're the party that cares. We value family. We value integrity. We value organized labor. Thank you to my brothers and sisters in organized labor for your unwavering support. We value our children no matter where they live. And that's why this fight about education funding reform is so disgusting, because we're finally a moment away from having equity for all children across the state of Illinois. That's right, for all children. They're all going to be better off under Senator Menard's bill. But we have a governor who chooses to divide our state every single day. He is like the twin brother of our president. Every single day, it's about division, division. Let's stoke the hatred or the rivalry that might exist between one part of the state and another. And just as one of the greatest senators to ever serve, Senator Dick Durbin, said, he may be from Southern Illinois, but he's proud to represent Chicago. And just the way I'm from Chicago, I grew up part of my life in DuPage and Will County, and I'm just as proud to represent those counties as I am Perry County or any other downstate county. I love Illinois. We all love Illinois. And the only rivalry that should exist in this state, the only rivalry that's okay to have, is, are you a Cubs fan or a Cards fan? That's it. And I'm a Sox fan, let me just say, for the record. But I can still root for another team. We're one team, and that's Team Illinois. I hope you all have a sticker that says Team Susana. But really, it should just be Team Illinois. So are we going to go out there and send the biggest bully that's ever served in Illinois, Bruce Rauner, a message come 2018 or what? Yeah, you with me? I promise you I'm going to continue to work as hard as I did as a candidate for controller, as your controller. We're going to fix this state. We're going to do it. Have hope, have faith that things will get better, and an automatic injection of vitamin is going to happen on the next election in 2018 when I promise you, with the new Democratic governor, we are going to begin to take our state out of trauma mode, and not just into a room where it's stabilized, but into recovery. And we are going to make that happen together. I'm looking forward to working my tail off, not just for me, but for every Democrat on the ticket, and especially for our next governor, a Democrat from the state of Illinois. Thank you, and God bless you all. And Doug House, you are the man, wherever he is. Congratulations to Doug House. Let's hear it for him. Woo! Love you, Illinois.